just over a couple of months now. I've had quite a lot going on. I changed jobs, I've been out of the country traveling for work, all sorts of other stuff going on, but I thought it was about time I made a video explaining why I ended up with this car. Now, I did briefly mention that one of the main reasons I bought this car was to do with cost, and I thought I would get into the detail of that a little bit more in this video. So to give you some context, for those of you who are new, I have a 2015 Audi RS3, which is currently in the garage, and my original plan was to order the new RS3, which I did do. I did spec a car and I placed my order. The spec was pretty much all of the kind of standard things that you would expect to see on an RS3. So I had spec'd the sports exhaust, I'd chosen mag ride because I wanted the car to be a bit softer when it was in comfort mode. I'd chosen red brake calipers, I'd chosen the kind of matte grey wheels, I didn't want the black wheels. The car was white, so I'd chosen white. I can't remember the actual name, but it's white. I'd chosen the black styling package, the comfort and sound pack, and I feel like there was something else, but I can't remember what it was. But I'd spec'd the car, I'd ordered the car, and the original delivery was meant to be sometime around now, so mid-December. But unfortunately, I received a couple of emails making me aware that the delivery was very likely going to be pushed back. So originally it was going to be January, and then I got told that it could even be February. So at this point I was already a bit like, okay. And I feel like when I ordered the car, I kind of jumped in, both feet, just jumped in, didn't really think much about it, kind of made my mind up, knew I wanted an RS3 and just went for it. But actually the delay then made me question how much I wanted the car to begin with. And to some of you that may be a bit of an odd thought process to end up at, but considering I already had an S3, I'd started to question how different the car would actually be. Now, I don't mean in terms of driving, because I'm very aware that an RS3 is much quicker than an S3, but I mean in terms of the inside of the car, the layout, driving position, etc. I started thinking, okay, do I want something a bit different? You know, would it be good? Would this be a good opportunity to maybe try something else? So I thought about quite a few cars actually. I thought about an M3, I thought about an M4, I thought about the old V8 M3, so I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll go second hand. I thought about the C63. I don't think I would have been able to afford a C63S, so I could have only have got the C63. I started thinking about Golf R's. Then I even thought about Golf GTIs, just like so many different cars. But somehow I ended up with this, an Abarth. And the reason being is, as I've said, cost. So the RS3 at my spec was going to cost me £753.40 per month over a 4-year period. I think that was with £1,000 in, so not much of a deposit at all, which I'm fully aware hikes up the monthly. But actually, when I spoke with the dealer, you know, putting more down didn't make that big of a deal. It's kind of somewhere around the region of £30 to £40 per 1,000 that you put in. So, and then taking into account that the chances are that deposit you put down is going to be lost in the residual value of the car over that 4-year period, in my opinion, it's always better off putting in the smallest deposit possible. However, £753 is a lot of money, so then I started thinking, okay, well maybe I'll lease the car instead. Maybe I could go down that avenue. My S3 is leased, which was originally leased through the company that I used to work for. I kind of liked the fact that everything is taken care of for you. So the tyres, you just take it to Quick Fit. If the windows break, you just take it to the fucking place that fixes windows. I can't remember what they're called. Like, all that sort of stuff is taken care of for you. So I was thinking, okay, I'll do the same with the RS3. But the cost came out about the same, so that put me off, because then I thought, well, I don't necessarily want to be spending the same amount of money leasing a car if I could just own it instead. And then I think just thinking about that amount of money, £700 odd per month, it just got me thinking about, do I even want to spend that amount of money per month to begin with? And the answer was no, I didn't, because I didn't want to overstretch. Now, I wasn't overstretching, but I've got a wedding to save for, general life stuff. I now have a baby, you know, spending £753 per month at this point in time seemed a little bit excessive for a car that wasn't that different from what I already have. So, in a complete moment of impulsive impatience, I decided that I wanted to get myself a little runaround car instead. So I'm just going to park up because the vibrations are driving me insane. So I decided, okay, well, why don't I get something that's just a little runaround, something that will get me from A to B, and something that's still fun to drive, hence the Abarth. Now, I already had one of these. You may remember I made a video about a car that I had as a courtesy car months and months ago, and I really liked it. I was pleasantly surprised. And I went into the dealership. This particular car was sat there. It was brand new, unregistered, had no miles on it. And I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna get one of them. So that's what I did. I got this car in October. I think it was October. And I haven't driven it much since. This car's done 863 miles, which is a fair amount, I guess, for a new car. And I feel like it's too early for me to make things I hate, things I love about this car. But what I can say is that in that short, just under 3-month period of owning this car, there has been a few issues. About 4 weeks in, the accelerator sensor went, so the car could only be driven in, I guess, comfort or non-sport mode, which is just like driving a Fiat 500, which of course is very painful. And then the headlights have leaked, so there's condensation on the inside of the headlight, which looks shit, and the turbo gauge stopped working. So even though the turbo was boosting, the actual gauge was stuck at 0, so that was a bit annoying. And also I've noticed when I'm driving around, occasionally, for no reason at all, the petrol light will just come on. So for example, at the moment I have 3/4 of a tank, but the petrol light came on about 2 minutes ago. It's just really, really weird stuff. There's clearly a wiring issue somewhere in the car that I need to have investigated. I just need to get around to doing that. So I do take part responsibility for not getting this fixed sooner, but nonetheless, it's annoying these issues are happening in the first place. But with all of that said, getting back into this car, I still enjoy driving it. I like the fact that you're not under any false pretense with this car. It just is what it is. Like, it's not the fastest car. Okay, so what you may not have heard there, because my camera card is full, amateur mistake I know, is the wrap up. So thank you very much for watching this video. I will be making another video about this car very, very soon, where I'm going to talk about the things I like about it. So the reason I bought it, some of the things I've discovered over this time of owning it. And until that video, thank you to everyone who watched my previous video about this car, everyone who is liking my videos, and everyone who is subscribed. I very much appreciate it. I hope the footage wasn't too shaky, and I hope that you've been able to hear me okay. But until the next video, peace.